Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and I have a player for you guys to meet today. His name is Eddie Heckard. He is a defensive back out of BYU, formerly out of Weber State. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. For
Yeah.
people that don't know you, I think a lot of people might know you as an FCS All-American, but this past season you were able to really continue your success at the FBS level, doing a fantastic job in that secondary for BYU. So go ahead and give us a little bit of your background if you don't mind. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. Grew up there. I used to stay in Oregon for a little bit, not too long, just like for the summers or whatever, with my mom's side of her family. And so I've been back and forth from Portland, Vancouver, Washington area, and Vegas.
Interesting.
hmm
So just kind of all around in that area, of course.
Yeah,
So,
mostly Vegas though.
so Las Vegas guy went to Desert Pines High School there
Yeah.
in Las Vegas. So, what do you remember most about your high school days, if we can kind of reminisce a bit?
Uh, Probably our state championships, just knowing how hard we fought to get to those points and after losing them in football and basketball and finally coming out my senior year winning them in both football and basketball was just like the biggest accomplishment I remember. And just all my relationships and friendships like my long time friends now. And just seeing a lot of people get to college too. A lot of people get scholarships to colleges all around the country. Think Desert Pines did a great job at getting kids to the next level playing sports.
Well, I mean, certainly if you win your state championship, typically that helps, of course.
hmm
You had mentioned also that you won your state basketball championship. Obviously, you being a part of that squad. Also doing a little bit of track during your time. Of course, multi-sport athlete in high school, but obviously, football is where it's at, man. Football is where you've had the most success. And of course, I had introduced you as a defensive back. So,
Right.
growing up, I mean, did you always play defensive back, or did you bounce around a bit, or what?
No, growing up, I never played defensive back. I always played linebacker and a little bit of offense, like running back, but I was never as a safety or corner or anything like that. So, yeah, it was always just straight defense tackling for me. I think that's where I get my tackling skills from.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you had said that you had a lot of experience at linebacker, but let's just be real. There's not too many uh, 5'9", 190-pound linebackers out there.
Nah,
So
nah,
obviously, what that means is that you're playing in the secondary somewhere. So,
yeah.
but let's continue through your early story. Um, how long have you played football?
Since I was 5 years old, uh, yeah, that's I was around. I was 5 years old playing for the Hawks. It was called Tiny Mites, in Pop Warner. I was one of the smallest kids on the team, and yeah,
Cool. Well, and again, likely playing some running back and linebacker back in those early days. I've been playing for a really long time. And again, coming out of high school, the one school that did give you the opportunity to play was Weber State, which is where you saw
yeah.
a lot of great success. How was that whole recruiting process coming out of high school? I mean, obviously, like you said, you're playing really another position altogether. How did they see you maybe transitioning to college?
Well, just meeting with Coach Hill for the first time, who was the head coach of Weaver State. We just got off to a great bond and connection, like a father son connection. He understood me for more than an athlete, and he seen me more than just being one of his next players. He seen me for being one of his next, like, mentors and mentees, and that's why, like, the bond was created greatly, and it was always appreciated, and that's why we're so close. And I moved to BYU with him.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about you, I feel, is you bring a different kind of defensive back to the table, of course. And so, a couple things that really stuck out when doing some film research.
Hmm.
Obviously, people might doubt you because of the size. 5'9",
Yeah.
190, but like, you play kind of up to the challenge, man. You don't back down from your opponent. Very willing run defender, diagnoses plays, efficiently. Also displaying some good leadership in that secondary, and I think that really boded, it really showed throughout your career at Weber, and then of course carried over to BYU. So, and then of course, obviously, uh, some pretty good hands, man. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, this past year, you had 5 interceptions, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is great considering you only had 7 of them during your time there at Weber State, which is cool. So, uh, talk about some of those things, man. What do you think separates you as an athlete?
Uh, just I feel like my me being 5'9" separates me. Me knowing what I have to prove and show up each and every day, like not being the most athletic person on the field, not being the most gifted and talented, just raw naturally person on the field. I know I have to put in the extra film study, which prepares me for the game. I know I have to see things a different way to where my body could make those plays. So me personally, I just know making plays is the biggest is the biggest thing for football in general. Like that's the name of the game, to make a play. And I know I'm great at that. I'm great at getting a good feel for the game. I stay poised the whole game. I don't overreact. When plays happen on me, I just move to the next play. I'm not a big, like, emotional person. I don't yell or nothing like that. So I think that those are like my strengths, and my ball skills, I think, are another strength of mine. Like I'm always going after the ball, whether it's an interception or a strip or anything. Like anytime I'm getting next to the quarterback, I'm going for the ball. Like that's just what I do. I'm a ball player, so I think that's what separates me.
No, I definitely get that. Do want to let you know, Eddie, don't sell yourself short as an athlete. You're just
Yeah,
a different type of athlete out there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We were talking to you earlier on in the season. I'm like, hey man, give me some numbers. And dude, you showed me some numbers that were just freaking outstanding.
hmm,
That was you and your ability to pump some iron there in the weight room. Um,
yeah,
some of these numbers, man, just sick for a guy your size, man. So like 395-pound bench. Again, 395-pound bench for a guy who's 190 pounds. Like that's like superhuman.
yeah,
22 reps of 225, maybe even better since then, because I know it's been a few months since then, but 480-pound squat. Dude, these are phenomenal numbers, man. So obviously, it's almost as if you have like a linebacker or even running back body out there. Obviously you have the upper body strength to really hit somebody. So
yeah.
different kind of athlete for you there. How did you get there, if you don't mind sharing?
Uh, I think it's just Uh, going into high school, I remember it like it was yesterday. Just knowing I wasn't the strongest, like I never lifted weights. I didn't have that type of influence from coming from living with all girls. Like didn't have nobody picking me up to go work out or nothing. So going into high school, I remember like my first summer workout, everybody was just stronger than me, and I just didn't like that. So like from ninth grade to now, like I just make sure I outwork people in the weight room, and I don't like, and I'm okay with failure in there. Like I actually push myself, like to like where something is hard while I'm getting the technique of it. And so I think I really got stronger and was able to put up those numbers just from pushing myself every day. And at Weaver State, it even became even better, just because Coach Hill is in the weight room pushing guys, like every guy, no matter where you're at, he's pushing you to get better. Like you don't have to be the strongest. You just have to be able to be better than yourself yesterday and want to beat yourself yesterday. And it was like that in high school as well. But in high school, I was competing with some linebackers and linemen, like me and Tony Fields, who plays for the Browns right now. We went at it. Like I was trying to squat more than him. And I'm going at it with our defensive end and the bench. I'm trying to bench more than him. And I remember he hit 300 pounds before me in high school. And I was just like, it was just one of those competitive type things. And that's the biggest thing. Don't take out the competition with nothing you do. That's what's gonna keep you getting better as long as you got that drive. And yeah.
I mean, dude, I think that that's great, kind of having that mentality of that, competitive spirit, really.
Right.
Which again, those numbers to me, just shocking when I look at any defensive back, let alone a person of your stature. So, let's look at you as a prospect again. I mean, I had introduced you as a defensive back, which really kind of puts you all over the place if we're being honest. I mean, I feel like you're a player who can play in multiple positions. And you do have a lot of experience all over the, secondary. You're playing outside, in the box as like a linebacker almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course playing some safety. Something again that I feel does separate you is that versatility. Where do you see yourself transitioning as you're making this move from the college ranks to the pros? What do you see yourself doing?
Um, I feel like with whatever team I get a chance on, I think I can help the whole defensive backfield just because I'm able to play strong safety. I'm strong enough to cover tight ends and show up in the run, and I've shedded blocks off tight ends, so I can play strong safety. I can play free because I can see the field good. I feel like I'm rangy enough. And if I'm not, let's just say I always know I could get better. I always know I could end up being that good and good enough and even great at some things. And then nickel is second nature for me right now. I just know I'm comfortable with covering slots. I'm comfortable blitzing. I'm comfortable showing up in the run and making tackles on these type of players. And now, as far as outside corner, that's where I love playing just because you could just see so many things. I mean, football is universal as far as pass concepts and things like that. So when you just see certain things from the number two receiver that you might not like get as many keys in the slot, I know like outside, that's where I know I would have 8 picks a year if I played more, just because you just see so many route combos happen right in front of you and you could jump more routes. So that's how I feel like any team that I go to, I mean wherever you need to put me, I could go play, and I'm versatile enough, like athletically, to go play anything. Play like some people can't put a corner at nickel because I mean, what you gonna do when you telling him to run fit if he don't know how to tackle? Like you don't have that problem with me. If with me, I feel like you can't tell a nickel to go play outside because maybe they're not as good as man coverage covering outside receivers, but I've done it and I've did it very good. So I mean I just have all the confidence in the world to play any position in that defensive backfield.
Yeah, I mean, again, just wanted to highlight, I mean, multi-time all Big Sky guy there at Weber State. First
Yeah.
team several times over, all American there. And honestly, I know it sounds silly, but like, dude, you had your best year, maybe even the final year of your career. You're
Yeah.
following your coach to BYU, and I honestly felt like you even got better as you transitioned from the FCS ranks to the FBS, playing for BYU, which was now changing to the Big 12. So, talk about that level of competition for you, man. Did you see much of a change or what?
Nah, I would say no. Um, I mean, in the trenches for sure. I've seen bigger linemen, more athletic linemen, seen more athletic D linemen, and the running backs are better. Like as a whole, played against some good running backs in the FCS though. But as far as receivers and even like DBs, I just didn't. I don't think that the change was that big. I mean, there are better players for sure, better athletes, and like the depth of these rosters about like are better. Like you got the twos in the FCS probably aren't. You probably have locked them up all game. The twos in the Big 12 are like, okay, I still gotta play with this good technique, and I can't just jump press you or something like that. So I would say the competition, I didn't have no problems with it. I mean, I got beaten in the FCS before I got beaten in the Big 12. I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that big of a difference, though.
But let's be real. You saw a lot of great success. This past season. And you bring that, man. You have such a great resume. When you look at both institutions that you were part of. Very, I guess, very good representation of both schools. When you think about you as a leader, as a veteran, as a team captain, um, talk about just briefly about you taking on that leadership role and really what you bring to the table as a leader.
Uh, I think it's good for me, and I appreciate all my teammates that like selected me to become like be a captain and from Weaver State to BYU. At BYU is when I really knew I had it in me, just because I was only there for you know, uh, 8 months before they chose me to be a team captain. And I think that's big for me, just showing like my character and what people see in me. I think I think I'm good at just doing my job, not doing too much, not talking too much, just going in there doing my job every day. And I think that's something people want to get behind, and they could count on me and trust me to make sure I'm doing the right things, and that's somebody they want to play for. So I think that's why they chose me as a captain and being a leader of the team. And a lot of people came to me for advice, like my first week on BYU's campus. Like I got people coming to me asking me about certain things, and it was just like that's when I had to realize, like, okay, like I maybe have that aura like that people just like gravitate to and they respect. And so I think that's just been how it is, because I've never, like, even in life with regular situations, I've never had like people not like me too many times. Like that's just not what you get out of me.
Well, I get that. There's a little bit that I get where it's not so much, and correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I don't know if you're as outgoing as perhaps some team leaders are, but I think really what you do bring to the table as a leader is just overall discipline. Just
Right.
being able to represent really what you need to do on a day to day, whether it's
Yeah.
during practice and, during meetings, yeah, obviously you're very disciplined in the weight room, but certainly bringing all of that to the table. And then, of course, people are looking up to you because it's kind of, obvious, that you're doing what you need to do. So,
Yeah.
um, Eddie, again, talking about all your great success, I know you've been a part of a lot of great games. Um, Give me a couple of your personal highlights that you love the most, man. Maybe a couple of them interceptions or any other plays that come to mind about your best highlight.
Um, I would say I got five, like that just pop up in my head. First one is my first college interception. Uh, that's just what I like. That's what I go in there every week wanting to get an interception. So like I like before the season, I plan on having 12 interceptions because that's how many games we have. Like I won an
Sure.
interception a game. So my first college interception came against Southern Utah, and it was one of those like just I had to earn it. Like I took it from him. And another another pivotal game and moment was I would say against Oklahoma. I know I had a big matchup. I don't know his first name, but his last name is Stoops. He was number 12 for them.
Drake Stoops.
Yeah, and he was a big matchup that week. He was, I think, he was leading the conference in yards or whatever. So I just took it upon myself. I pressed him the whole game, whether we were in zone or man, and I feel like I had that was one of my better games as far as man coverage goes, and um, that was one of his worst games of his career, I believe. Like he didn't do much. He didn't. Yeah. Um,
I mean, we're talking about a guy who played in the Shrine Bowl. Just throwing
yeah.
it out there to people. But yeah, go ahead.
Um, I enjoyed my game against Texas. Um, playing against two high caliber receivers, having to guard them, and it just in that environment, like that was a big time game, and uh, I feel like I had another great game there. Like even though the Oklahoma game and the Texas game we lost, if you run back the film, like I feel like I did what I needed to do to help us win. I didn't hurt us at all that game. Like there was obviously plays I could have done to make a better play or something, but those are last year. I would say those are my like two tapes to go watch and go watch me play against some high caliber dudes.
Sure.
And
Well, I mean,
that Oklahoma State game was my last one. I got two picks. I was just in that field. I was just in that zone. So yeah.
yeah, I mean, again, I was able to watch a couple games of yours this past season, and just seemed like at times, man, you were just in like the right place, right time. Like you were, really pushing, the envelope against your opponents. Really able to take advantage of some things. So,
Yeah.
and really just displaying good hands. Dude, there's a part of me that feels like he could have been a running back. You know what I mean? But hey, it's fine. Still great defensive back, and had a pretty solid career overall. So, um, Eddie, what you doing these days, man? Where are you training?
I'm training in Colorado, in Lando Performance. Um,
Okay,
they're the guy that runs it. His name is Lauren Lando. He was the old Broncos head strength coach. Now he's the head strength coach at Notre Dame. So our trainer though is Augie. He's a super good, genuine dude, and he knows what he's doing when it comes to these combine training stuff.
awesome. Well, obviously training now for I'm assuming like sometime next month. You got
Yeah.
pro day going on, so certainly something to look forward to. Um, Eddie, do you want to take a moment to see if there's anything else about you that you want to share other than you being a great football player? Anything that you want to share with people with regards to you, your personality, likes, dislikes, hobbies, special talents, anything that you want to share with people that you feel might be interested?
I feel like my special talent is just being able to. I feel like I could do anything and get like super good at it. Like rather, no matter what it is, like I feel like even when I'm introduced to something new, I feel like I get good at it super fast once I just put my mind to it and actually learn it. And that's how I feel about football as well. Like I might not know a technique, but as soon as I get to learning it, like I'll become one of the best at it. Hobbies for me are I just got into playing the game. Now that I'm in another state, I'm just sitting back, just chilling. Um, I like bowling. I like cooking. I like cooking new meals, like just trying new things out in the kitchen. What else I like? I like just spending quality time with my nieces and nephews. Uh, that's that's like probably number one for real when I'm back home.
Cool. So you
Uh,
said that you're a bit of a bowler. Are you
yeah,
competitive enough, man? You got a good high score or what?
yeah, I got a good high score, but it's not consistent. But my highest score is 258.
That's
So
really good though. I mean, hey,
yeah.
I know I can't do that. I don't know if I've ever broken 200 if I'm being real. So,
Oh yeah.
but cool, cool. You competitive in other means as well, man? Like you a card player or what?
Yeah. I mean, when I get to playing, I just don't play it a lot. But like on Friday nights before the games, we'll play a little bit of poker, or we'll play some board games, just like on some team. It's called football fun for the team, and we just. I mean, everything is competitive with me. I'm trying to win. I don't like losing, and it just don't sit right with me.
No, I get you. What do you miss most about your hometown?
uh, the family and friends, but yeah, that's it. I mean, I enjoy the heat as well. I'm not. I've been in Utah and now I'm in Denver, so the cold is not my thing. But yeah, I
Oh,
enjoy those 60-degree winters and saying it's cold. I like that.
yeah, I mean, that's totally not cold. So, I mean, if it was
Right,
60 degrees, I'd be pretty damn happy right now.
right.
Um, well, hey Eddie, it's nice to get a chance to know you, on and off the field. But we do need to wrap up our time. It's been a lot of fun, dude. Obviously, you're training right now. You're trying to get yourself in the best shape possible to go out there and really impress some scouts. So, want to give you the opportunity to talk to those scouts right now. Tell them why you make a great addition, and just give them your pitch as to why they need to give you a call and give you that opportunity. So close us with your thoughts.
I would say just because of my versatility, I'm able to play special teams, every special teams. I'm able to play every position in the defensive backfield. Um, and if you just look at my track record of what I've been through, like I've made light out of every situation I've been through, as far as life goes and football, just bouncing back from anything that happened. So yeah, I just feel like I'm one of the most resilient players in this draft, and I really believe I'm the best. To be honest, as far as versatility goes, I don't see nobody that does what I do, and I make plays. I mean, that's it. Like a lot. I don't think nobody has as many stats as me, FCS or FBS. And look what I did at the FBS Power Five level with you know, I mean, with one season, I had more stats than I had
That's what I was
in my
saying.
season at the FCS. So it's like if I stack 4 or 5 seasons at the Power Five level, like now I'm breaking records. So it's like, yeah, I think when we just talk about strictly football, like that's me. Like I didn't been playing football, and I think I've been the best at football.
Well, really, sky's the limit, dude. I mean, obviously, you're seeing your best football right now, which is really where it needs to be, obviously, as you try and make that ultimate move to the pros. So, do think that there's a lot of good things about you as a prospect. We've talked about them all: versatility, discipline, willing to be a leader, also going out there on special teams. Dude, you do check a lot of those boxes. I mean, obviously everybody wants like the big tall dude, but I mean, let's just face it, like if I could still get a 5'9", guy out there to really press up against people and challenge them play by play, and he's shutting down some of the best receivers in all of college football. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So
Right.
obviously, man, hopefully somebody's going to give you that opportunity very soon. And want to wish you very best of luck. All right.
Yep. I appreciate you. Thank
All
you.
right. Sure. Once again, we got Eddie Heckard, defensive back from BYU. Check this guy out.